So you know those fail videos that you can watch on YouTube and you think to yourself, man, my friends and I would totally do that. Well, this movie is basically a long-ass compilation of fail videos, and it is fucking hilarious. What's up, guys? Cam here coming at you with another movie review. Today I am bringing you Jackass the movie. Now, the first thing I'm going to say about this movie is it is very nostalgic for me. It was one of my grandfather's favorite movies, to be honest, and I used to watch it all the time with him. I haven't seen it in a few years. I recently revisited it, the other day, and it is still just as funny as it was before. I mean, it's basically just a bunch of guys who get together and they go around and prank people, fuck with each other, just cause each other all kinds of pain and discomfort, and it is so funny. This movie was directed by Jeff Tremaine, and it stars Johnny Knoxville, Bam Margera, Ryan Dunn, Steve-O, all kinds of people. And right in the opening credits of the movie, you know exactly what you're in for. The movie opens up with them riding in a giant shopping cart down a long road, and there's explosions going off everywhere, and they're smacking each other and punching each other and falling off the cart. And it's a lot of fun to watch. It really sets up what to expect with this movie, because it is nothing but asinine hilarity. If you're comfortable with an abundant amount of male nudity, then you shouldn't have a problem with this movie. If you've got no problem with guys' asses hanging out, their balls and dicks hanging out, this movie's fine. Now, I will say that this movie isn't for everybody. It is a bit of an acquired taste. I can understand somebody watching this movie and saying, wow, those guys are a bunch of fucking idiots. How does anybody find this funny? Because to be honest, the very first time that I watched Jackass, the TV show, that was what I thought at first. I didn't really find anything funny about it. But as I continued watching it, and as I continued to watch what these guys do, I think my perspective on it's changed a bit. I think that it's really funny. I think that, having a certain amount of people go out and do these things and having us laugh at it at their expense, I think is a good thing. Now, it's kind of hard for me to actually review this movie because it doesn't have any kind of plot line or anything. It's just a compilation of gags and pranks and stuff like that they've all done over the course of their career. Well, actually, not over the course of their career, just over the course of them filming this movie. So what I'll do is I'll just jump straight to my top 5 favorite gags out of this movie, because I think that it'll give you a little bit of a better idea of what to expect with this movie, because I can't really review this movie, because like I said, there's not really much to it. It's funny. That's really all it is. It's just a really funny movie. So with that being said, spoiler alert, well, as spoilery as you can get with a movie like this, I'll be bringing you my top 5 favorite gags out of Jackass the movie. Let's go. Starting off with number 5, Night Pandas. Now, a large portion of this movie takes place in Japan, and while the guys are over there, they decide to dress up in these ridiculous panda outfits and just go out for a night on the town and just cause all kinds of trouble. They're skipping around, knocking things over, breaking shit, causing all kinds of disruptions in grocery stores and shoe stores and all kinds of stuff. And it's a lot of fun to watch. That really is one of those gags that you watch and you think to yourself, wow, I would love to go out and do this with my friends. I think it would be a fun time. Just go out, have a few beers, dress up in these panda costumes, and just confuse the shit out of people. I think probably my favorite moment out of this scene is two of these pandas are just skipping along the side of the road, and out of nowhere one of them pushes the other, right in the middle of a skip. So he's in the air and he pushes him into what looks like a lemonade stand, but I know it's not a lemonade stand. It's some kind of like street side vendor. But he just completely demolishes his fucking thing. Here's a little snippet of it so you know what I'm talking about. So I can look at you from inside as well. Number 4, the golf course air horn. Now, Johnny Knoxville and a couple of the guys are hiding out in these bushes on a golf course, and these people are trying to tee off. But right whenever they're about to swing their golf club, Johnny Knoxville blows an air horn, scares the shit out of them, and completely screws up their tee. And the reactions of these people is just so funny. They're looking around, wondering where the fuck that came from, with these perplexed looks on their faces, until eventually they encounter a guy who knows where the air horn is coming from. He goes to swing, they blow the horn, he fucks up. He turns around towards them and throws his club into the bushes, and Johnny Knoxville and everybody's just laughing their asses off. The guy comes over, he's like, "What the fuck is your problem?" And Johnny Knoxville is like, I got bursitis. So you have to play with an air horn? Yeah. I don't know why. It's like the kind of juvenile shit that you would do as a teenager. Number 3, the muscle stimulator. Now these guys have this like electric box that has these, you know, adhesive pads attached to it. I don't know what the hell they are. And they're sticking them like all over their body and turning the charge up and electrocuting themselves. And the guys, you know, they're all screaming, trying to take the pain, but they just can't. And it is so funny to watch them try and sit there and hold still while this thing is electrocuting the shit out of them. But probably the part that really makes this scene for me is whenever Chris Pontius, who's like the male stripper, you know, proud of his tallywhacker kind of guy, steps up and is like, alright, let's zap my nuts. And so they attach 2 of the pads to his balls, and they turn up the charge, and he just starts squealing, like jumping around and squealing. It is so hilarious. I have to show that to you right now.
No, come on.
All right, let's zap my nuts.
Yeah, let's get it over. Are we ready?
You're so gone, man.
Okay.
It's so funny. I'm sorry. It's funny. Number 2, the rent-a-car crash-up derby. Now Johnny Knoxville goes to this car rental place and he rents a car from them. He takes it out of there and he completely like pimps this thing out with like, you know, racing stripes and completely overhauling the shit out of it and turning it into like some kind of, you know, I guess race car. He takes it to a derby and just demolishes the fucking shit out of it. And he brings the car back, and the guys at the rental car place are just kind of standing there like, what? And Knoxville goes up to him and he's just like, yeah, I was drinking and I hit a dog. And the guy's just like, a dog's not gonna do that. No one's ever done this before. But I returned it with a full tank of gas. I really hope that you guys will incur some of the costs. And that's the very first gag in this movie. It really sets up what to expect. I mean, you know, the opening credits aside, this is the scene that really sets up, okay, I know what I'm in for this movie. I'm in for some really weird, funny shit. Number 1, wasabi snooters. Now Steve-O is easily identifiable as the cokehead of the group. And they all go to this Japanese, you know, like, I guess, sushi bar. And they sit down, and Steve-O tells the guy behind the counter, hey, I want a lot of wasabi. So he brings them a huge glob of wasabi. Steve-O mixes it in with a little bit of soy sauce, makes a little line, takes a straw, and snorts the shit right up his nose. And the reason this is so funny is because Steve-O throws up more than anybody else in the entire Jackass franchise. I mean, this guy's esophagus must be torn to shit because he throws up like every fucking episode. And as he snorts this wasabi up his nose, he's just leaning over his plate like, he eventually does it again, and he throws up like green bile, and it's so gross, but it's so fucking funny. Because what really makes this scene, what really makes it funny is the gagging sounds that he does, because I don't know, just listening to it, I could watch that scene blindfolded, and I would still laugh at it just because of the sounds that he makes.
More.
Do another snooter.
Now, extra spoiler alert, I want to talk about one particular scene in there that I actually find unwatchable. I don't think that I'm a very squeamish kind of person. I don't get grossed out easily. Nothing really makes my stomach turn, you know, that badly. But for some reason, this one scene, I cannot watch it. It is called the paper cuts. I hate paper cuts with a fucking passion. I cannot stand paper cuts. And these guys are volunteering to get paper cuts between the webbings of their fingers and the webbings of their toes. I just think that is not okay. It's like, I can understand doing all the other shit that you're doing in this movie, but that is, ugh, that's just taking it way too far for me. I don't know why, just something about it just really makes my stomach clench up and I have to look away. Well guys, that's it. Jackass the movie. I would definitely recommend it. You know, don't watch it with your parents. Sit down with a few good friends, have a few beers, and watch this movie and laugh at it. I really think that you'll get a kick out of it. But I hope you enjoyed. Hit that subscribe button, and as always, I will see you in my next review.